Hello and welcome to the first of my bat reps. This one is a 9th age battle report, and it's going to be the Dwarven holds versus the Highborn Elves. My opponent Steve, a very good friend of mine, very intelligent player, and we're going to go on to the dwarf deployment here. On the far side we've got 20 warriors with shields and spears. Put them on the flank there because he's got some cavalry. And in 9th age the spears are very good anti-cavalry, so we're going to see what they can do. On top of the hill there we have a bolt thrower with the rune of +1 to hit. We've also got an engineer with a shield and the Y-Slayer rocket, and he gives them entrenched, which is fantastic, so it's hard cover for them. Just in front of that we've got the 30 Iron Guard with the banner of the War Standard banner, sorry. So it gives them +1 combat resolution, and in that they've got the Dwarf King, who's got a palanquin, a shield, 4 up ward, +2 strength, and a 2 up ward against flaming. Also there we've got the Runesmith with a shield, spell of disrupting, again a 4 up ward save. And the spells has got the rune of metal, the rune of oaths kept, and the rune of true grit. So we're going to see what happens there. Next to them we've got 30 greybeards, all with shields and throwing axes. Never taken them before, but ballistic skill 4, quick to fire, should be interesting. And just behind there we have 5 hold guardians. Now onto the high elves. As you can see there, he's got the Lord, the Archmage, is his general, with the charm of Cursed Iron, the Dragon Youngblood, Flameheart, the Wizard level 4 Path of Fire. We'll go through his spells throughout, and he's got a flaming sword on that one with a 5 up ward save. He's also got a High Captain with the Rider's Bow, Heavy Armour, Queen's Handmaiden Shield as a battle standard bearer, the icon of Relentless Company, which gives them +3 movement, sorry, ×3 for this march. For his core he has 20 elven archers and the musician, which you can't see in this one, but I think I've got the picture of that coming up next for you. He has 5 elven light cavalry, 30 elven spearmen in heavy armour with full command, and that should be coming up now. There you go. For his specials he's got 5 shadow watchers and 23 sword masters, and they're all +1 to hit, and they've got the banner of the Dragon's Embrace, which is a 4 up ward save and a 5 up ward save against range. It also has 10 Knights of the Dragon Realm with full command and 9 Queen's Guard skirmishers. Yeah, so there's his fast cav there, vanguarding up, and go to Dwarfs turn 1. Triple marching, nobody in sight, so I'll just move up like that. You know, I've got the whole guardians there defending the flanks. We put the oaths kept on the warriors, and it was absolutely amazing just having spells for the dwarfs, you know. What the oaths kept does for the dwarfs, it gives them stubborn and immune to psychology for the entire round it's on them. You know, like I said, I put them on there with the flank of the spears, because I know he's quite cavalry heavy at the moment on that flank, so we can but hope I'll get the charge off on that. And see how it goes. But I do know he's got a dragon on that flank as well, so we'll just have to, like I said, see how that one goes. But you know, Dwarfs to spells are absolutely fantastic. And on the greybeards we've put True Grit. Again, this is freaking awesome, you know. All to wound rolls against a target friendly unit receive a -1 penalty. -1 to wound. That's absolutely fantastic. Along with that, they're distracted, so they're -1 to hit. They're toughness 4, They've got throwing weapons, a ballistic skill 4, quick to fire, and they don't take the minus for stand and shoot either. These things are well worth the points in my opinion. And yeah, it's just absolutely fantastic. Just trying to find out how much they are points for you, and they're 10 points a model. Can't say fairer than that really. So yeah, along with that, the bolt thrower, sorry, the way rocket has a pop shot at the skirmishers there, completely misses, and the bolt thrower goes for his Knights of the Dragon Realm, and I think he manages to kill off one of them. So shooting's not fantastic. So High Elves turn 1. He moves his Queen's Guard up a little bit, moves his fast cav around slightly for getting some pop shots on there on the whole Guardians there. Moves his Lord up over the hill, and his, so I've got to remember these, the Knights of the Dragon Realm up as well to threaten the warriors there. He sticks on a load of spells from the Path of Fire, and that's how it looks. I think he's got Flame Cage upon the warriors there, and he's got, I think it's the +1 to hit on the skirmishers in there in the corner, which is threatening the bolt thrower at the moment. And that's how turn 1 looks. And for the High Elves, and for his shooting, I think he takes down a whole Guardian and leaves one on 1 wound, and that's because I did completely misread the rules for that. I only saw the natural armour, which is a 6-up. Obviously they do have plate armour, which is 4 plus that, which makes them a 3-up, which is my mistake, and I did pay for it. But you know, after that round of shooting, I learnt my lesson and we cracked on from there. And here comes the Spearman. Yes, there you go, he's got cascading fire up on that, which was quite painful. Throughout the games he just kept casting it upon me. You know, the toughness 4, so it didn't really bother me too much, but losing 1 or 2 dwarfs a turn, not really, you know, not really bothersome, to be honest. And he's, you know, I think that's +1 to hit, but I can't remember what that spell did, to be honest. And there's a picture of the whole Guardians. You know, like I said, he's taken 1 off completely, and he's left 1 on 1 wound. So, and that's how that looks there. Whole Guardians, absolutely fantastic addition to the Dwarf army. 3 attacks each, and obviously they get the supporting attacks as well. Immune to psychology. They've got 3-up armor save, magical attacks, multiple wounds, D3, and you know, you can give them flaming attacks and Fireborn for 5 points a model, and upgrade them to champs as well. For 70 points a model, absolutely fantastic. It's something the dwarfs have needed all the way through Warhammer. It's monstrous infantry, and the lads who have done this have finally come up with the goods, and I pat them on the back for it. Dwarfs turn 2, I declare a charge on the Queen's Handmaiden there, and they decide to flee. And the whole Guardians being movement 5, they needed a long bomb at 11 inches, and they ran them down. Oh my god, I couldn't believe it. It's just what I needed. The dwarfs are on the far side of on the battlefield, and the plan's starting to come into my head that all I've got to do now is turn them in the flank, and the whole Guardians are going to absolutely annihilate the rest of the Elven army. But just before that, I must say that I did declare a charge on these fast cav, which you can see in the right hand side of the screen. They elected to flee as well, but I decided to go after the Queen's Maid and the Queen's Guard instead, just because he's got his battle standard bearer in there really, so points you've got to go for really. Nothing else happened in my turn. Shooting was pretty rubbish, didn't kill anything, got the same spells off in the same units. High Elves turn 2, he, like I thought, he put his cavalry and his Dragon Lord into the spears, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to get annihilated there, even with the spears. You know, I've got 15, 16 attacks going on to them, strength 3. Yeah, not looking good really, but it has deterred him from going into the whole guard, not the whole guardian, sorry, the Iron Guard at the moment, which is what I need. I just need them to have another turn to see if I can get into his Sword Masters. Yeah, so that's that. We'll see how it goes. They are stubborn and immune to psychology, so there's no fear test there. We'll just have to see how that one plays out. There's his fast cav coming back around the back to take get in position to take a few shots at the greybeards, as it were. I must apologise about the picture there, it is a bit blurry. Yeah, there's not a lot to say about the fast cav really. He's put a magician and bows in there, you know, for 5 of them it's 95 points. It's not too bad. I'm not a great I don't have a lot of knowledge about the High Elves as it was. I don't know how much they were in 8th edition, or if they even come up to anywhere near 8th edition, or if they're better than what they were in 8th edition. I'll have to ask him when I see him next. But like I said, that's where he's put them there. He all I can imagine for he's going for a few shots there at this stage, and I think that's all the shooting's got left. Apart from them, he puts them back a bit. Try and get that out of line of sight of the whole Guardians, and he moves his spearmen up. But you know, spearmen are pretty cool in their own rights. They've still got the fighting extra ranks for the High Elves, and they get fighting extra ranks for the being spears on foot as well. So fighting for 4 ranks is pretty frightening really, for any army. But that's how he's positioned everything. You know, it's at this point in the game we're just feeling out the armies. We haven't put a very powerful list together. We just put something we wanted to be fun. For me, for instance, I've put 4 characters in there. I've only 1 war machine, and I've got a couple of, you know, I've got 4 units. I've never had that before, so very good. Sword Masters there. He's moved up. Sorry, he's backed up. He hasn't moved forward. He's backed them up at all to get them out of range of the Iron Guard there. Like I said, I've got the King in there, and with his I think it's the Reckoning rule, where I can choose 1 unit, and I get I get re-rolls to hit and re-rolls to wound in the first round of combat against my chosen model or unit. So yeah, he's pretty worried about me going into them, so he's backed them up as far as he can. I think I'm on 11 inches there, so put them just in range for a charge, but have to see how that one goes. And there's a spearman again there, just in the right hand corner, positioning themselves for the long greybeards. Yeah, so they charge the war machine, and yeah, he kills. He takes a wound. I take a wound. I fail my stubborn 9 roll. Gutted, absolute gutted. Yeah, couldn't say anything about it. You know, my engineer, luckily he passed his panic, so he's hanging around, and I'm just going to have to counter charge and see what I can do there. But you know, you fail stubborn rolls occasionally, but I was just a bit. I needed them to hang around for 1 more turn, but it is what it is at the end of the day. It can't be helped. And that's the battlefield behind them. You can see the young one there, the dragon with the level 4. Oh, and sorry about that one, and that's how that's set after combat with the spearmen. They absolutely got annihilated. The strength 6 dragons of the realm on the charge took off half the unit. I think I did 1 wound back to them out of those 15-16 attacks. Absolutely fluff my rolls. And the mage took 1 off. The dragon took a number off and finished them off with thunderstomps. And he's actually turned the dragon to face the Iron Guard there, as you can see, and turned the dragons of the realm to face the engineer, which I was a bit surprised about at this turn. I'm not really sure what he had planned there, but I'm sure, knowing my opponent, he's got something up his sleeve with that one. Dwarf turn 3. Like I said, I turned the whole Guardians to face. Didn't feel like I had to move them anywhere. Charging to the spearmen. You know, I'm thinking I've got charge on +1 strength. I've got 1, 2, 3 complete ranks. A -1 to hit. I've got the truth. I've got I'll get the spell off on them in a minute, where they're immune to psychology and stubborn. So I'm pretty sure I'm either going to hold or win that fight, which will be absolutely fantastic, because that will put me in good stead for the rest of the game. Again, and his archers there as well, you can see in the background. So I think, oh no, the engineer, he did charge as well. I'm not sure if I put a picture of that up, but yeah, that for me is looking fantastic at the moment. The Iron Guard go for the charge and fail, so they've just moved up a little bit. Pretty much expected it, but you know, with that dragon bearing down, I definitely had to go for that, really. Could have not. It's not really a pinnacle move. I mean, looking back at it now, maybe I should have marched them 8 and then took the charge from the Swordmasters, but you know, like I said, it's a new game. We're trying to fill out a new army, so it's, for me, I'm pretty excited to be in that half of the field anyway. It's a lot better than just standing back and shooting with your cannons and your grudge throwers, as it were, and just castling up in the corner. So that's how that stands at the moment. And don't forget, I've got the dragon there to my left and the Swordmasters to the front of me. And there you go, the engineer, he charges. I'm pretty happy with that, really. I've got a charge on them, so I'm 1 up already. I should do at least 1 wound, I think. I don't think he's going to do anything to me on that. Yeah, so pretty happy with how that stands, really. He's pretty mad after he's lost his mates, and they've legged it away from him. And as you can see, his realms of the Dragon Guard there in the back, bearing down on me. All I can hope for is that I hold and he can't get into me, be a failed charge at the front, or I win and I can try and run them down and get out of line of sight. But to be honest, I don't think I'm going to do much of that. Those realms of the Dragon host coming up on me, and there it is. The charge and 2 wounds. I think he did a wound to me maybe, and I ran them, chased them, didn't run them down. I luckily got out of line of sight. Close escape. High Elves turn 3. He brings in his fast cav in front there, moves his archers out of the way, just to try and play games with the whole Guardians. That fast cav. He knows I've got a charger there. Moves his, I think they're the handmaidens. No, they're just the the Elven archers, just the Elven archers there. He moves them up out the way, and they're facing towards that bottom right hand corner. And that's that. As you see, the greybeards there and the spearmen are still in battle. Nothing really went on there, to be honest. So yeah, and we go on to the swordmasters again. As cowardly elves just back up again, half their movement yet again. Just puts me on that 11-inch marker again. Not happy about that at all, but it's you know, he's got to do what he needs to do, and I've got to do what I need to do with that. Unfortunately for me, he's got the good movement all the way through the game, and you know, it is what it is at the end of the day. But at this point, the game's running very smoothly. The new rules are coming into their own. We haven't found any grey areas at all within this game so far. And again, you know, congratulations, hats off to the boys who've come up with the rules, both the main rules and for the armies. It's absolutely fantastic. Yeah. What can I say? We go in, we charge in, we do a few wounds, and we failed our stubborn roll again. Stubborn 10 with a re-roll. I was speechless, couldn't do anything about it. But hey, you know, with Dwarves, we reform, we get into place, and that's what it looks like there. The Master Engineer has charged the Shadow Watchers. I think they are, yeah, the Shadow Watchers there. And the turn before that, he's actually reformed his realm. It's not his Knights of the Dragon realm to face the rear of that unit. My Ironbeard, my Iron Guard unit, and that's what the battlefield looks like from there. I think by the looks of it, the Old Guardians are in combat with the Fast Cav, so that's just gonna be, I can't remember if he charging them or charging on my turn, to be honest, but that's how it is. Yeah, fantastic. So as you can see, he triple charges my Iron Guard unit there. He charges my Greybeards, and I stand and shoot with my multi-shot. Take no minuses for standing and shooting, and they're quick to fire ballistic skill 4. 28 shots. What can I say? 28 shots from that. Absolutely filth. I absolutely loved it. I've never taken thrown weapons with Dwarves before. Glad I did on this. Ended up killing 7 of them before they even got into combat, and I'm happier with this combat than I was last. Unfortunately for me now, the general's just out of the general and the BSB are not just out, they're quite a way out of way there for any sort of re-roll, so if I fail it this time, I'm done. In his turn, his magic only gets cascade and fire off from me. And that's how it looks there. So yeah, can't really say much to that. No, it's what it is. After combat here, you know, he's got +1 to wound, I've got -1 to wound. There's cascading fire on me, so I'm taking strength 4 hits at the end of each turn. And the Greybeards and the Spearmen go for it. I think he kills 1 or 2. I kill 3 or 4, maybe 5 for that one. Excuse me. And I think I won by 2. on that, and he flees. Yes, I think it was, yeah, 1 by 2. He turns and flees, and I chase them down. He rolls in 10. No, sorry, he rolls a 9 to get them to run away. And my short-legged dwarven folk roll 10 and catch them where they stand. The whole Guardians, you see, made short work of the fast cav, and that's how it stands there. Going into dwarf turn, sorry, that's the top end of High Elf's turn 4. Going into turn 5, the engineer made short work of the Shadow Watchers on the last turn, chase them down, so you can just see them in the bottom right hand corner there, and I charge with everything to go and help out the Iron Guard, but fail, miserably fail. The whole Guardian and the Greybeard, sorry, they were 1 inch shy on both the charges, and the engineer was just a little coward and rolled snake eyes for his charge. But as you can see, I've got True Grit up, so again I'm -1 to wound everywhere. Not that it's going to matter, because there's just so many attacks coming in now. It's starting to get a bit painful for them. Although I didn't expect them to last as long as they did last time. But that's how it goes. Yeah, and that's how it ends up. Ouch. Ouch. Yeah, wasn't happy with that. But I've still got, I think it's 2 Iron Guard in there, and they, with the bodyguard rule, they were stubborn. So turn 5 and 6 are much the same. There wasn't any, the only charge I managed to get in was the whole Guardians on the flank. The engineer failed his rear charge. The Greybeards failed their charge miserably again. He's managed to kill off the unit and my BSB. The dragon's not dead, he's just brought him out of combat there for the photo so we can see what's going on. and I end up with just the Dwarven King and the Runesmith left out of that unit. I think the Runesmith might have taken 1 wound of that, and as you can see I've killed 1 more of the Knights of the Dragon Realm there, and plenty of the Swordmasters now. But wow, yeah, that +1 to hit. I didn't have True Grit off that either, so I wasn't minus to wounds. But that's how it is. An absolute fantastic game. Really enjoyed it. Again, thanks to the guys at ECT and the Swedish Comp for coming up with this. It was brilliant. Can't wait to play my next one.